The eye of a photographer. The eye of a photographer, perhaps, is like the eye of a camera. It can see and show things that most people can't see for themselves. There was once this girl who blew up the photographer's camera. He saw something of beauty in her, so he decided one day to photograph her. One could wonder if what the photographer saw in her was some kind of beauty that she was blind to. It was a beauty that she wanted to see, but made many mistakes as she tried and tried and tried. She was nervous, though she enjoyed being in front of the camera. She generally liked the stage, yet never to be the center of attention when she was just acting like herself. As his lens focused in on her, she felt uncomfortable and tried to fight the urge to squirm. She felt examined, but she was ignorant of the fact that he saw right past her. And she really thought that he could see her clearly. That is what she feared, that he was peering right into her, actually seeing her as who she imagined she was. But really all that she desired was for him to see her for who she truly is. Unconsciously, he photographed her both inside and out, but only concentrated on what he could perceive at the time. Over months, days, weeks, life went on, and the photography unfolded, both clothed and nude, as well, but she never felt either naked nor fully expressed. He captured images of her from all sorts of angles. It's true that in some more primitive cultures, people will not have their picture taken from any angle whatsoever for fear that it may steal their souls. Would you believe me if I told you that as he took pictures of her, he started to notice waves of suffocating energy emerge from her? Click flash, click flash. No matter how much it may have bothered him, he profoundly haunted her. It profoundly haunted her. Despite how much it would hurt, she actually wanted someone to feel that darker aspect of her being. Her indomitable soul is so inexhaustibly determined to rid herself of those demons. Shot after shot after shot, captured onto film strips after film strips. For a second, he caught a glimpse of her eyes, and he could see them pleading to take away her overwhelming sense of pain. The more he saw her in the photographic realms of perception, the more he felt the need to help her overcome who she had become, a person she never expected to be. But in his ignorance and devastating apathy, he was helpless. Suddenly, he took one last photograph, and his camera exploded. And as fate would have it, that day he was using a Polaroid, and just before it blew up, he set it down, and the last photo he ever took of her printed promptly from the mouth of the camera. The photo was unfathomable. It seemed as though the extensive photography over time had been not just capturing beauty, but also extracting rather less pleasant things from the girl. The girl filled his camera with sorrow, and it sacrificed itself as it absorbed the demons which surrounded her. As it sucked away her darkness, it somehow left her relieved of the weight she carried every day. He took a good long look at the photo, and then averted his eyes past the rim of the photograph he held in his hands over towards the girl. The image in the photo did not equal the scene in which he currently found himself, and he was dazed and also confused. He stared both at the girl and the photo, back and forth for an eternity, and realized how blind he had been the whole time. In the dimension in which he stood, he saw just an ordinary girl, trying to understand why his camera just blew up. In the photo, all that could be seen was a darkness that took the form of a human being, whose contours glowed in a red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. The darkness which filled the center of the photograph simply emanated light. He never showed the girl this photograph, so she simply sat in darkness for what also seemed like an eternity, until the day she finally woke up, looked in the mirror, and watched one gentle black tear roll down her cheek. As gravity pulled it off her face and it splattered onto the bathroom sink, she looked up and saw herself for the very first time. From that moment on, she's been forever transformed, and hasn't posed for a single photo for any stupid photographer since. Sometimes there are things that even the eye of the photographer you don't always want to see. So what good were you then? What good were you to me? Written by Samaran Kassar, 2013.